I'm a night shift ranch hand. I've worked cattle operations across 4 states for 6 years. I've dealt with coyotes, mountain lions, cattle rustlers. But what I encountered on a ranch bordering Navajo land in Utah, summer of 2018, made me quit ranching forever. Because the dog I buried on Tuesday was sitting outside my bunkhouse window on Thursday night, and when it opened its mouth, my dead mother's voice came out. I'm 22, ex-Army, honorably discharged after a convoy accident. The VA was jerking me around on disability claims and I needed money fast. That's when I saw the job posting. Night ranch hand. Southern Utah, near the Arizona border, $2,500 a week. Cash. That's double what normal ranch work pays. The ranch was massive. 2,000 acres butting right up against Navajo Nation land. The rancher was in his 60s, leathery skin, didn't talk much. Showed me the bunkhouse and said 3 things I'll never forget. Stick to your zone, don't cross the fence line onto reservation land, and be inside before full dark. I asked why. He looked at me for a long time, then said, 40% turnover rate. You'll find out or you won't. There were 5 other ranch hands. None of them would work night shift. All of them locked themselves in the main house after sunset. I thought they were superstitious idiots. My first night making instant ramen in the bunkhouse microwave, I noticed something. All the windows had been nailed shut from the inside. Not boarded up, nailed. Like someone didn't want something getting in. Week 1 was quiet, boring work. Checking fence lines, making sure cattle weren't clustered anywhere. Perfect for someone who just needed to show up and collect a check. Week 2, I noticed something off. The cattle in the eastern pasture closest to the reservation boundary kept clustering in the northwest corner. Every single night, pressed together like they were terrified, but there were no kills, no tracks, no blood. On Thursday, I drove out at dusk to investigate. Found a dead coyote near the fence line, neck twisted completely backward. Not broken, twisted, like someone had grabbed its head and rotated it 360 degrees, and its organs were gone. Not torn out, surgically removed. The cavity was clean, precise. I took a photo and radioed the rancher. He called immediately. Get back to the bunkhouse, right now. It's still light out. I'm not asking. Come back. Don't be out there alone after dark. Something in his voice made my skin crawl. Week 3, I started taking night watch seriously. Stayed in the truck, doors locked. Around 1 a.m, doing a sweep of the eastern pasture, I saw something moving through the cattle, tall, upright, walking on 2 legs. But the movement was wrong. The joints bent backward, knees hyperextending with each step, and the cattle weren't running. They were parting around it like water, silent and docile. I hit the spotlight, full blast. The figure stopped, turned toward the light. I couldn't see details too far away, but I saw the silhouette, too tall, too thin, arms too long. Then it dropped to all 4s and sprinted into the darkness, faster than any animal I've ever seen. I sat in that truck for 3 hours, hands shaking. When dawn came, I drove to where I'd seen it, found tracks, barefoot, human-sized, but only 4 toes, and the stride length was 12 feet. Nothing runs like that. I showed the rancher the photos. He sighed, poured himself whiskey at 8 a.m. You're gonna quit, he said. They all do after they see it. What is it? He didn't answer directly, just said, previous owner tried to expand onto sacred land, built a barn over a burial site. Burned down 3 times, always at night, always during new moon. After the 3rd fire, things started showing up, killing livestock, scaring the hands. Most quit within a month. Why do you stay? He looked at me with tired eyes. Where else am I gonna go? This is my land. It was here first. We just live with it now. That night, I found one of the ranch dogs dead, same as the coyote, neck twisted. Organs removed. The other dogs wouldn't go near the body, just whimpering, backing away. Around 2 a.m, I heard scratching on my bunkhouse window. Slow, deliberate, nails on glass. I grabbed my flashlight, looked out. The dog, the dead dog, sitting outside. staring at me with milky, dead eyes. Its mouth opened, but the voice that came out was the rancher's. "Let me in. It's cold out here." I stumbled backward, hit the wall. The dog's head tilted. Wrong angle. Too far. "Come on now. Don't be rude." I ran to the main house, pounded on the door. The rancher let me in, unsurprised. "You saw it, didn't you? The dog?" I nodded. Couldn't speak. He explained. "The ranch sits on disputed land. Previous owner didn't respect the boundaries, didn't respect what was here before. Now something walks the property, testing people, seeing who's weak enough to let it in. It's been here for 30 years. We just live with it." The next night, I heard my mother's voice outside the bunkhouse. "Baby, I've been looking for you. Open the door." My mother died when I was 8. Overseas, military accident. But that voice, it was perfect. Every inflection, every pet name she used to call me. "I'm so proud of you, sweetheart. I miss you so much. Just let me see your face." My hand moved toward the doorknob. I wasn't thinking, just hearing her voice after 14 years. The rancher fired a shotgun outside. The creature screamed, not an animal scream. 100 voices screaming at once, in reverse. I quit the next morning. The rancher paid me extra. Danger bonus. You lasted longer than most. I moved to Colorado, changed my number, avoid anything native related. But I still hear her sometimes. My mom's voice, always at night, always asking to be let in. I've moved 4 times. Doesn't matter. It knows where I am. Last week I woke up and my front door was unlocked. I live alone. I know I locked it. There were muddy footprints leading from the door to my bedroom. Barefoot, human-sized, but the toes were too long and there were only 4 of them. I'm a long-haul trucker. 15 years on the road. I've driven through every state, every hour of the night. You see strange things on empty highways at 3 in the morning. Deer frozen in headlights, drunk drivers swerving. But what I saw on Route 191 through the Navajo Nation in March 2019 made me sell my rig and get an office job because it wore my ex-wife's face and it spoke with my mother's voice and it wouldn't stop following me. I was running late on a delivery to Flagstaff. Dispatcher was threatening to dock my pay if I missed the window, so I took the shortcut through Monument Valley. Route 191 cuts through the heart of the Navajo Nation. I'd driven it dozens of times, never had problems, just long, empty stretches of desert highway, beautiful in daylight, unsettling at night. Around 2:30 in the morning, my CB radio died. Just static. Then nothing. Then my phone lost signal. Not unusual out there. Dead zones everywhere. I was completely alone. Last vehicle I'd passed was 40 miles back. That's when I saw her, standing on the shoulder. Elderly woman in traditional Navajo dress, long skirt, velvet blouse, silver jewelry catching my headlights. Hitchhiking, out here, at 2:30 in the morning. I slowed down, debated stopping, but something felt wrong. Who hitchhikes in the middle of nowhere at this hour? I drove past, checked my rearview mirror. She was gone, just empty road behind me. 10 miles later, I saw her again. Same spot, roadside, same position, same clothing. Impossible. I'd been going 70 miles per hour for 10 minutes. I slowed to 50, got a better look as I approached. She turned to face my truck. Her face was wrong. Features too long, mouth stretched too wide, smile that didn't fit human anatomy. I accelerated hard, didn't look back. 5 miles later, I heard something on the roof of the cab, scratching, like nails on metal. I checked the mirrors, nothing, but the scratching continued. Moving from the roof to the passenger side, then I saw movement in my peripheral vision, something running alongside the truck, keeping pace at 75 miles per hour. It was her, the woman. But she wasn't running upright. She was loping on all 4s, still wearing the dress, but her body was twisted. Spine bent wrong, arms and legs moving in a rhythm that made my stomach turn, and she was smiling, face pressed close to my passenger window. Smiling, I floored it, pushed the rig to 90. She kept pace, effortless. Then she jumped, landed on the hood, face pressed against my windshield, inches from me. Her mouth opened, too wide, jaw unhinging like a snake, and she spoke in my ex-wife's voice. "Why did you leave me?" I slammed the brakes. She flew off into the darkness. I sat there, engine idling, shaking so hard I thought I'd pass out. Then I heard my mother's voice from outside the cab. "Come home, baby. I've been waiting for you." My mother died 6 years ago. Cancer. But that voice, it was her. Exact cadence, exact warmth. I couldn't help it. I looked. She was standing in my headlights, wearing the clothes she was buried in, smiling, arms open like she wanted a hug. Her mouth moved, but my father's voice came out. "Come on, son. Let's go home." My father died when I was 12. Then my brother's voice. Then my grandmother's. Then my high school best friend who died in a car crash. Cycling through everyone I've ever lost, all speaking from that thing's mouth. I drove, 95 miles per hour through winding desert highway. Didn't care if I crashed, just had to get away. Sun came up as I reached Kayenta, first town with gas stations and people. I pulled over, hands still shaking, walked around the truck to check for damage, found handprints on the hood. Large, too large, and too many fingers. 7 on each hand, pressed into the metal like the steel was soft clay. I quit trucking that week, moved to Phoenix, got a job doing data entry in a windowless office. Haven't driven at night since. But sometimes, late at night in my apartment, I hear scratching on my door. And voices. My mother, my ex-wife, my father, everyone I've lost, taking turns, asking me to open up, asking me to come home. I never opened the door. But last week I came home and found muddy footprints in my living room. Barefoot, too many toes, leading from my front door to my bedroom. I wasn't home. I'd been at work all day. My door was locked, but something had been inside, standing next to my bed, waiting. My girlfriend and I went camping to save our relationship. We'd been fighting for months. I thought getting away would help. I was wrong. She never made it off that mountain. And I don't think what came back with me was entirely human anymore. We drove to northern New Mexico in late September 2021. Found a remote campground off Forest Road 76. Barely maintained. No one else around. Off-season. Perfect. First day was beautiful. We hiked, talked, actually laughed. For the first time in months, I thought maybe we could fix this. That night, around 10, she said she needed to use the bathroom. Pit toilet about 100 yards from our tent. She took the flashlight. Said she'd be right back. 10 minutes passed. 15. I started getting worried. Then I heard her voice. "Babe, can you come here? I need help." The voice sounded flat, emotionless, not like her. I grabbed my headlamp, headed toward the bathroom. "I'm over here. Keep coming." But the voice wasn't coming from the bathroom. It was coming from the tree line, deeper into the forest. "I'm scared. Please hurry." I followed. Stupid, but it was her voice. What was I supposed to do? The voice kept moving, always just ahead, never getting closer. Then I realized something. Her phone. I could see its flashlight glow back at camp, by the tent. If she was in the woods, how was she seeing? That's when I heard a different voice. Her voice, but different tone. "Babe, where are you?" I spun around. She was at the tent. Real her, looking panicked. "I've been calling you. Why did you walk into the woods?" Behind me, the first voice continued. "Why won't you help me? I thought you loved me." We ran to the tent, zipped it closed, both of us shaking. The voice circled our campsite, slow, methodical, speaking in her voice. "You always leave me alone when I need you. Why don't you ever listen to me? You're just like your father, cold, distant." I looked at her. She was crying. She hadn't said those things, not tonight. But she had said them during our worst fights, weeks ago, in private. How did it know? The voice stopped. Silence for 5 minutes. We didn't move, barely breathed. Then we heard the tent zipper, from outside, slowly opening. We both stared at the entrance, frozen. Her face appeared. Same face, same hair, same clothing. But her eyes, solid black, no whites, no iris, just black. It smiled, spoke, but in my voice. "Come with me. Leave him," she screamed. I grabbed her hand. We tore through the back of the tent, ran through the woods, didn't care about gear, didn't care about direction, just ran. Found our car. Keys were in my jacket. Back at the tent. We couldn't go back. Broke the window, hot-wired it. I learned in the army. Didn't think I'd ever need to use it. Drove through the night. Didn't stop until we hit Albuquerque. Reported it to park rangers. They found our campsite. Tent destroyed. Gear scattered. But no footprints except ours. No evidence anyone else had been there. We broke up 2 weeks later. She said being around me reminded her of that voice. The thing that knew everything we'd said. Everything private. She couldn't look at me without hearing it use my voice to manipulate her. I don't blame her. But here's the thing that keeps me awake. After she moved out, I started noticing small things. I'd come home and items would be moved. Not stolen, just relocated. My coffee mug on the wrong shelf. TV remote in the bathroom. Keys in the freezer. Like someone was living in my apartment when I wasn't there. Learning my routine, my habits. Last month, I set up a camera. Just a cheap security cam pointed at my living room. Left for work. Reviewed the footage that night. 8 hours of recording. Nothing for the first 3 hours. Then I walked into frame. At noon. I was at work at noon. It was me. My face. My clothes. Moving through my apartment. Opening drawers. Reading my mail. Sitting on my couch. Watching TV. It looked at the camera once. Smiled. Waved. Then it walked into my bedroom and closed the door. The footage ends. Camera shut off. Battery was fully charged. I haven't been back to that apartment. I'm staying in motels. Different one each night. Paying cash. But sometimes, in the mirror, I see my reflection move wrong. Blink when I don't blink. Smile when I'm not smiling. I don't think I came back alone from that mountain. I think something followed me. Or worse. I think something replaced part of me. And I'm slowly becoming less myself and more it. How do you fight something that's wearing your face?
I host a paranormal investigation podcast. 200,000 subscribers. I've recorded in abandoned asylums, haunted prisons, alleged UFO sites. I've debunked dozens of supernatural claims. But when I went to the Navajo Nation in October 2021 to interview elders about Skinwalker folklore, I captured something I can't explain. 14 minutes of audio I never recorded, in a language I don't speak, in my voice. I was planning a 3-episode special, Skinwalker Mythology versus Reality, booked interviews, flew to Arizona, professional equipment. This was going to be my breakthrough series. Most elders refused to speak to me, said it was disrespectful, that talking about these things invites them. But one man finally agreed. Elderly, traditional, lived alone in a Hogan-style home. No electricity in the main room. He served me blue corn mush, too polite to refuse, tasted like dirt and honey. We talked for 2 hours. He told me stories his grandmother told him, warnings, rules, don't whistle at night, don't talk about them after dark, never lock eyes with something pretending to be human. I recorded everything, professional audio setup. Levels were perfect, clean recording. He kept looking past my shoulder while we talked, like someone was standing behind me. No one was there. When the interview ended, he walked me to my rental car, grabbed my arm hard. Don't listen to the recording after dark, and don't listen alone. I thanked him, thought he was being dramatic, for effect. That night, in my hotel room in Farmington, I transferred the audio files to my laptop, started editing. The interview was there, clear audio. But there was something else. A second audio track. I didn't record a second track. 14 minutes. Starting at exactly the 2-hour mark. Right when I was packing up, I hit play. It was my voice, but I wasn't speaking English, some other language. Guttural rhythmic, like chanting. I don't speak any other languages. I never said those words. I played it for a linguist friend over the phone. She listened for 30 seconds and hung up. Called back 5 minutes later. Don't play that for anyone else. Delete it. That's not a real language. It just sounds that approximate language, like something learned human speech by listening, but never understood meaning. I didn't delete it. I'm a journalist. This is evidence. I played it again. Louder this time, trying to identify words. My hotel room door unlocked. From the inside. Chain and deadbolt both. I watched them slide open on their own. The door didn't open, just unlocked. I grabbed my equipment and left, checked into a different hotel, different town. That night, I heard scratching on my window, 4th floor. Nothing could reach my window on the 4th floor. But the scratching continued, and I heard my voice from outside. Let me in. I know you're in there. I packed again. Drove through the night. Made it to Albuquerque. Caught a flight home to Portland. Thought I'd left it behind. But when I opened my laptop to edit the episode, there were new audio files. I didn't record them. They appeared while my laptop was in my bag, but offline, on a plane. 12 new files. Each one my voice. Speaking that language. Getting louder. More aggressive. The last file was just screaming. My voice screaming in that language for 6 minutes straight. I deleted everything. Canceled the series. Told my subscribers I was taking a break. But the files keep coming back. Every time I delete them, they reappear. Different names now. My mother's name, my sister's name, my ex-boyfriend's name. Last week, a new file appeared. Title was just Listener, I Come Inside. I haven't opened it, but it autoplays every night at 3:33 in the morning, even when my laptop is shut down. I sleep with headphones in, playing white noise, trying to drown it out. But sometimes I wake up and the headphones are across the room, and I hear my own voice whispering from my closet in that language, the language that isn't a language, and I'm starting to understand the words. That's what terrifies me most. I'm starting to understand what it's saying, and it's asking permission to wear my skin. I'm a Border Patrol agent, 8 years stationed in southern Arizona, Tohono O'odham Nation sector. I've tracked smugglers, rescued migrants, found bodies in the desert. But in August 2022, I found footprints that started human and became something else. And when I followed them, I found my uniform hanging from a cactus. The one I was wearing. Solo patrol is common in my sector. Too much land, too few agents. You get used to being alone. Radio check-ins every 2 hours. Otherwise, you're on your own. August 14th. 110-degree heat. Routine patrol. Checking sensors along the border. I stopped at a stock tank to refill my hydration pack. Water tasted like rust and salt. Noticed dead birds around the tank. Unusual but not unprecedented in this heat. Found fresh tracks near the tank. barefoot, human-sized. Heading north into the desert, away from the border. That's backwards. Everyone coming north wears shoes, and they don't walk toward nothing. I radioed it in. Dispatch said check it out, probably a disoriented migrant. I followed the tracks. Easy at first. Clear prints in the sand. But after a quarter mile, they started changing. The stride got longer. Much longer. 8 feet between prints, then 10. No one walks with a 10-foot stride. And the prints themselves started morphing. Toes getting longer. Wider. Developing claws. I stopped. Took photos. Sent them to dispatch. No response. Radio was crackling with static. The tracks led to a wash, sandy bottom. And there, half buried, was a uniform. Border Patrol uniform. Name tape said Denton. That's my name. I looked down at myself. I was wearing my uniform, same one. There were 2. My uniform. Exact duplicate. I pulled it out of the sand. It was warm, recently worn, and it smelled like me, my deodorant, my detergent. The footprints continued past the uniform, but now they were my boots, my size, my tread pattern. Whatever I'd been tracking had taken my uniform and was wearing it. I drew my sidearm, followed the boot prints. They led to a cluster of saguaro cacti. And there it was, standing in the shade, wearing my face, my exact face, my hair, my body, my uniform, my gear. It smiled, waved. Come closer. We should talk. My voice, my inflection. I aimed my weapon. Don't move. It laughed, my laugh. You think that'll work? Bullets go through me. I'm wearing you now. What are you? It tilted its head. Too far. 90 degrees, bones cracking. I'm the thing that walks the border. I've been here longer than your country. Longer than the line you draw in the sand. I take shapes. I learn. I adapt. And right now, I'm learning to be you. It stepped toward me. I fired. 3 shots, center mass. The bullets hit, passed through, left holes in the uniform. But no blood. The holes closed. Uniform repairing itself. It kept walking, still smiling. You can't kill what was never alive. I ran, sprinted back to my vehicle. Radio wasn't working. Phone had no signal. Drove back to the station, burst through the door. Supervisor looked at me, confused. Denton, what's wrong? You just left 10 minutes ago. I've been gone for 2 hours. He checked his watch. Shook his head. No, you walked out at 11:15. It's 11:25. I pulled up my GPS log. It showed me at the station the entire time. No movement, no patrol, like I never left. But I had the photos. The uniform, the tracks. I opened my phone. Photos were gone, all deleted. Gallery was empty. Supervisor asked if I was feeling okay. Heat stroke is serious. Maybe I should go home. I went to my car, sat there, trying to make sense of it. That's when I saw her, me, walking out of the station, talking to other agents, laughing, normal. She looked at me through my windshield, smiled, waved, then mouthed, I'm better at being you than you are. I took a leave of absence, indefinite medical evaluation. They think I had a breakdown. Maybe I did. But last week I got a call from my supervisor asking why I didn't show up for my shift. I told him I'm on leave. He said no, Denton came back to work 3 weeks ago. Perfect performance. No issues. I haven't gone back. I'm staying with my sister in Tucson. But sometimes I see her. Me. At the grocery store, at the gas station, living my life better than I did. She's more confident, more social, more liked. She's me, but improved, and I think that's the worst part. I don't think she took my life. I think she earned it by being a better version of me than I ever was. These 5 encounters happened to real people in real places. They survived, but survival doesn't mean escape. Each of them still experiences things they can't explain, voices they recognize, figures in the distance, the feeling of being watched. If you've had an encounter you can't explain, drop your story in the comments. But be warned, acknowledging these things might make them notice you. Hit that subscribe button for more true encounters we post every week. And whatever you do, don't open the door when you hear a familiar voice calling from outside at night, because it might not be who you think it is. Thanks for watching, and remember, some things are better left alone in the dark.